Peter Smith has been happily married for the past 2 years. This is his second marriage. His first ended in a divorce that was far from amicable. Peter worries that if marital immunity is lifted, it could be used as a tool against husbands by estranged ex-wives.
You'll have difficult to prove claims of marital rape, that you'll have this being raised as an issue in divorce courts unnecessarily, that it'll be used as a bargaining tool, as leverage perhaps to acquire more possessions from their husband that they're divorcing.
Peter is not alone. One common argument for keeping the exemption is to prevent vindictive and vengeful wives from falsely alleging rape, especially those who are trying to claim more money in a divorce settlement or as leverage in a custody battle. Peter is now fighting for more access to his young child, and he feels that as it is, men's rights are often overlooked in the interests of furthering the woman's cause.
There is an assumption by both parties when you get married that you are obligated to have intimate activities with the other person, with your spouse. Bringing in such a law, I think, or making it stricter, the definition of marital rape, where perhaps a woman can complain that she's been raped, even though there's no physical evidence, even though there's no evidence of violence, I think would allow a bias to creep into marriages, a bias against men.
Will husbands be falsely accused by their wives of marital rape? Maybe, but I think husbands will have to trust in the system. I mean, we do have a rigorous process, right? In terms of the police doing their investigations, sieving out the false accusations from the true ones, and in public prosecution, right? The AG's chambers will also vet through the case. So we just have to trust that such accusations will be properly investigated. In the event of a false accusation, the woman will be punished as well.
So far, there's no indication if the campaigners will succeed in their lobbying attempts. Elsewhere in Asia, like in Japan, the Philippines, Hong Kong and Thailand, marital rape has been criminalized. Most of the countries that have removed the immunity have not complained of a rise in false allegations. But Peter still believes that unless there is violence, he does not think that non-consensual sex is a crime. And in the instance of violence, the status quo is sufficient.
My concern isn't for myself, it's for the generations that follow us. For my son who'll one day become married. I don't want him to enter a marriage where there's an unequal balance of power between a man and a woman. I think the law as it stands now is perfect. If you're in a marriage and you don't wish to have sexual intimacy with your partner, take out a PPO, separate from that partner, seek counseling. That gives you legal protection immediately from having or being required to have unconsenting sexual intimacy with your partner.
Two reasons have been given by the Singapore government. One reason is that in husband-wife relationship, the husband is not any stranger because he is someone who has a special place. He is someone that the woman has married, someone who shares intimate relations with her. So it is a very special person. And if we treat that husband as a stranger, it will change the marital relations between them completely. So that's one reason. The other reason is that for husbands, they should be given clear signals about when this assumed consent to sexual relations is removed. So for example, if the married woman applies for divorce or obtains a protection order, then this marital rape immunity is removed. So that's a clear signal given to the husband.
So far, the No to Rape petition has garnered over 2,500 signatures. Now, as for what happens in November, if and when this petition is submitted, remains to be seen. The notion of marital immunity is based on the notion of conjugal rights that dates back several centuries when a woman's consent to marriage meant her consent to sex at any time. Many societies have progressed since then, and with the issue of criminalizing marital rape in Singapore, women like Lily and Amelia are slowly coming out and encouraging other silent sufferers to do the same. What advice do you have for women out there who are being raped by their husbands and who are still in these marriages?
My advice to them is that to go forward, put aside the shame and think for yourself as a human being. That we women, we don't want to be in this situation, but when we are in that situation, we should go out and speak up. Speak up for ourselves. That's why I've come up forward today for this interview. For the main reason that I think all women who's got such husband kill their husband. They are not worth living. They are not worth living. But they have caused a lot to me. My personality, my life, my marriage, my wasted life, my wasted life. The only consolation I have is my 3 beautiful children.
Because they still have to overcome themselves. So what if there's a law being passed down? Because that's a very big, brave move. A woman have to cross over and just briefly to stand up saying that, hey, I was being raped by my husband. We have the rights, okay, to say no to marital rape. And we have to take action.